Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the invisible forces that guide our wallets. We're talking about the psychological triggers that make us click Add to Cart, sometimes without even really thinking about it.
So let's start with a question for everybody. Come on, be honest. You've been there, right? You walk into a store for just one thing, and you walk out with like 5. What is happening in that moment? Is it just a lack of willpower, or is there something else going on? Well, it turns out you are definitely not alone. A whopping 80% of all luxury goods aren't bought because somebody actually needs them. Nope, they're bought on pure impulse.
And get this, it isn't just about fancy watches or designer bags. A staggering 60% of the food we buy is also the result of those exact same in-the-moment urges. Our shopping carts are literally overflowing with decisions we never planned to make.
So what's the deal here? Why are we so susceptible to impulse? Well, the answer isn't that we're bad with money. It's actually found in the fundamental wiring of our brains. You see, your brain is basically an efficiency machine. I mean, think about it. To keep from getting totally overwhelmed by the thousands of choices we face every day, it creates these little mental shortcuts to automate routine decisions. And what's more routine than shopping? And that brings us to the most important idea for today, purchasing heuristics. That's the fancy term for it. Think of these as your brain's autopilot features. The problem is, in today's marketplace, marketers have figured out that these features can be, well, they can be hacked, like finding a bug in the system.
Okay, so let's crack open the marketer's playbook and expose the scientifically tested tactics they use to trigger these little mental shortcuts of ours.
All right, our first trick is one you see so often, you probably don't even register it anymore. But here's the thing, it works every single time.
This is something called the odd number effect. Because we read from left to right, our brain kind of latches onto that first digit. The 1 in 1999 makes the price feel like it's in the teens, which seems like a whole different category, way cheaper than the $20 right next to it. But it's just 1 cent. It's a simple but an incredibly powerful mental glitch.
Now, this next tactic is way more subtle, but honestly, it's even more powerful. This isn't about playing with the price, it's about manufacturing a need right out of thin air. You see, it's all about the timing. Marketers find a moment when you're already feeling a certain way, like, say, a little bit of fear, and then they swoop in and present their product as the perfect answer. They don't solve a problem you already had. They sell you a product by first selling you the problem itself. Okay, here's another big one. This trigger appeals to our deep-seated desire to be smart, savvy shoppers. You know, that feeling we get when we think we've found an amazing deal and totally outsmarted the system.
Have you ever seen a regular price crossed out next to a bright red sale price and felt that little rush of excitement? That's what we call perceived value. By showing you a higher price for comparison, or by offering a guarantee that takes away the risk, marketers make the emotional act of buying feel like a really logical, calculated decision. We're not just buying the thing, we're buying the feeling of being smart.
So, now that we've seen inside the playbook, it might feel a little depressing, like we're all just puppets on a string. But here's the good news. Just being aware of these tricks is the first and most powerful step toward taking back control of our own wallets. You know, you don't need superhuman willpower to fight back. It's really just about putting a little pause in there for some critical thought. So when you see a 99-cent price, just mentally round it up. Feel a sudden urgent need for something? Ask yourself, wait, where did that feeling even come from? And maybe the most important thing? Just pause. Just wait a minute. Give your rational brain a chance to catch up with your impulsive.
So I'll leave you with this to think about. The next time you're about to buy something, just take a second and ask yourself, who's really in charge of this decision? Is it you? Or is it your brain's shortcuts? The answer might just surprise you and save you some money.